All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarah Soon said he kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. It's going down this Sunday, family. We talking about Luciferian rituals of the Black Illuminati. We pushed it back. We had to do some extra research. We had to pile on the amazing information, and so we did that. And so we're gonna drop down this Sunday, the 24th at 2 p.m. We want you in the house. It's gonna be one of the hottest presentations of the year. You do not want to miss it. Click that link. Begin to think, be front row and center, and don't dare miss it. I'm so excited and delighted to be accepting members to the Sarah Sunseti YouTube page, a dynamic page. Y'all know what it is: Black Power, Black Frequency. You feeling that frequency and energy, you should most definitely join. Link down in the video description. Click that link. You get a video introduction rundown on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Sarah Sunseti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. Ring the alarm. KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Sarah Sunseti, DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor, accessories for every room in the house. I got something nice for your family. You need to get over there. You need to check it out. I got to and check out the catalog. I know you're gonna see something you're gonna like and love. Get it, get a discount, shop and save and shop. That's right, family. Pull the fire alarm. GeneralSeti.com, SETI University, over 1,500 videos of nothing but pure heat and fire. All the subjects that you know and love from the General 1,500. 40 different subjects, Too Raw for You Too, Making of the White Man series, all debates, all religions, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, ancient Egypt, Ethiopia, India, Black Power politics, economics, Black woman is God, Olmec, voyages of the Nile, Freemasonry exposed, all the things you know and love about the General is there. Get over there, plus the master teachers. There's not another website like it on the planet. Become a member today, family. And everybody knows SETI popping on Patreon, BPC making noise. We never calm. We got next up, we got Ham, the biblical father, the African race decoded. We got Olmec, mysterious connections between the Olmec and ancient Egyptians. And we got the 25 greatest monuments of Africa, part one. Don't miss it, with 500 exclusive live streams on deck for your family. Get over there, become a patron today. Unlock that treasure chest of wisdom. All the family donated to the General. I thank you. I appreciate the fact you appreciate me. Any of the family out there would like to donate to the General, the link is right there in the video description. It's in the chat. Click it, donate. I thank you ahead of time. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels: King Seti, General Seti, Sarasun Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends, and comment. Just don't say nothing stupid, because I will ban your ass. Now we talking about ancient Arabia and its African origins. We got to talk about that too, because the motherfuckers over there today ain't got no business being there. And just like you look up in what today they call Israel, and you see the Cro-Magnon Jew over there, Neanderthalic Jew over there, Ashkenazi, the Arab too, down there in Arabia. He's not the original man of the land. And so, you know, he's been there for a minute, but yet and still, he's not the original man of the land. And he know that, you see, because when it did, as we went over the fact and did the research to see that Canaan, which is the founding people, racial bloodline of what today is called Israel, you see that the Africans are the root and seed people of that land. There's no doubt about it. You see, and it's no different than because when you look at the map, let's deal with this. Ain't no way you could get to Arabia unless you're coming from a boat. But everybody in the South were African anyway. So that it wasn't no other races in the South but the Africans, but the Ethiopians, but the Kushites, but the ancient Egyptians. That's the only people that was there. You see, so in order for you to get into Arabia, you would have had to cross into, you would have had to first go through the northern African nations, such as Canaan and northern, what today they call Arabia, but it's not Arabia. You see, and so we're going to show. Let me see. Let me get these maps in here. Okay, this must be it right here. There it is, right there, right there. Here you go, right there. That's a nice one, right there. Okay, let me bring it on in. Here we go. So even so, when you look at this umbrella, we're looking at the umbrella of African Confederation of Nations. You looking at the Hittite Empire. Or the foundation of that empire is Heth, which was a son of Canaan. We got to deal with that. Who we already didn't acknowledge is of the Cushite bloodline, father Ham, designated as black, brother of Egypt, land of Ham, designated as black, brother of Ethiopia, Cush, Sudan, already know, designated as black. So Canaan was a African nation, and so Heth was his son. I believe he was the second oldest behind Sidon, Heth, and Jebus, and so Heth was the Hittites' African bloodline. When you go into Heth, you will see that out of Heth, you see that's Troy. When you talk about Troy, ancient Troy, being of Ethiopian bloodline, a lot of people did not know that Priam, who was, if you watch the movie Troy with whatever his name it was in it, you will see that the king of Troy was Priam. You see, was Priam, and Brad Pitt played Achilles in that movie Troy. And so the king of Troy was Priam. A lot of people did not know, and I brought it to your attention, that Memnon who was the Ethiopian warrior equal to Achilles, who went to Troy to fight Achilles. You see, for in allegiance with Troy. And the Greeks show Memnon to be Ethiopian, where Priam, the king of Troy, was the uncle of Memnon, the Ethiopian. You see, which means the Trojans themselves would have had to be Ethiopian for Priam to be the uncle of Memnon, the king of Ethiopia, and also Persia. Okay, Memnon was said to be the founder of Susa, which was the capital of Elam. And so we showing the blood lineage, what's coming from the ancient records. You see what's coming from the ancient records. So Hittite, we got Troy, and we got also right above the Hittite, we had the nation of Colchis. Okay, now Colchis was also in Greek mythology. It was the nation that held the fleece of the golden ram. And so the fleece of the golden ram, and we know the ram being Amen. You see, we know the ram being Amen. Herodotus said that the Colossians were an Egyptian colony that existed right above the Hittite, the purple nation, right above it, above Assyria. So that also was Ethiopian Kushite. and he acknowledged that. So ain't no way that once you understand that the Assyrians coming from Nimrod, the Babylonian, Elam coming from Nimrod. So it was an umbrella of African nations that prevented any northerners from coming down into the land. So you would understand that Cush and Sheba was also African, because there's no way that any other type of people could get in there without first going through that umbrella at the top. And that umbrella at that time was impenetrable. You see what I'm saying? There's no way you could penetrate it. You see, they had the mightiest and strongest armies on the planet. And so the early, what you call today, what they want to call Arabia, but in the Bible, it was referred to as Sheba. Okay. It was referred to as Sheba. And so that's clear. Now let's matter of fact, let me get on. Let me get down here. Now, let's deal with we're gonna deal with Cush. Yeah, Cush. Let's get into Cush, because Cush is the father of the tribes that went into Arabia. He was the father of those tribes. And you see here, you see, and the sons of Cush, Seba, you see, which is also interchanged. This is where you get the Sabaeans, the men of great stature. You see the Sabaeans. And then you got Havilah. And Havilah is the first nation to be mentioned of in the Bible, in Genesis, in reference to the Garden of Eden. You see Havilah. You see Sapta, Ramah, Sapteka, and the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan. Okay. And so you see that these is the nations that will go into what today is referred to as Arabia. Matter of fact, let me get this over here. Let me see. I don't think this one is it. It can't be. This is not the one particular. Where is that one at? Oh, here you go. Right here. Right here. Here we go. Now, when we start talking about, let me drop this over here. Now, when you talk about Arabia, now if you look at that down there where you see that line, that is referred to as Arabia Felix. Now, that Felix mean happy, happy Arabia. That was par excellent, the best part of Arabia. You see, and so in the Arabic lore, the true Arab come from Arabia Felix, the southern portion. And they say that Muhammad, supposedly his people come from Yemen. Now, that's what they call Yemen. Now, a lot of people got to understand that Ham in Arabic is referred to as Yam. They use the Y. You see, Yam. You see, and that was the ancient name of Yemen. Yam. Y-A-M. Yam. Okay. Now, what's crazy, because they got this story in Arabia of this ancient city, and it was supposedly, listen to me, because we just got off the Nephilim, we just got off the giants of the Cushites and the ancient Egyptians. That in this city was called damn, what's the name of that city? It's called the Atlantis of the Sands. It's damn it. Somebody gonna put it in there. Let me see. That's right. What's the name? Let me see if somebody. Ain't nobody gonna drop it in. I'm gonna have to drop it in. I mean, what's the city name? I know they called one of them called. They say Ubar. You see, but it was another city. I guess so. I guess it is Ubar, but I thought it was another city. But it is Ubar. Okay. And it was so it is considered to be, a lost city that, the columns, it was like columns for giants and so on and so forth. So this was Iram. That's what it was. Iram. That was the city. Iram. But I guess they can call it U. And so it was in this area too. Let me see if I can get a where it was located. They say it was located. Nah, I guess they couldn't call it Uber, and they got, Okay, let me see if I can put this in here. Okay, they ain't gonna let me get that particular one. Let me see if I can get another one just like it. But this city was supposedly like it was one of it would have been the most magnificent city that won the riches, and the columns were so large that again that the people had belief. Now this city has never been found. That's very it must be stated. Just like there ain't no damn no Atlantis been found. They have never found Iron. Okay. Let me see the best map I can get and show y'all what area is located in. I think I can get it. Let me see. Let me just put map. But this is so these children, they said the Adites. Now in Islamic law, it was said that that they were built by the Adites, and that the Adites were literally the children of Ham, Yam. You see Yam. So you see that it's still, no matter what, how they try to run, and they talk about Shem and all of this, but it's Ham. These giants were, and they were, referred to as the Nephilim. Okay, they were referred to as the Nephilim. Okay, I'm trying to find a good map. You can't never find a. I'll just put this one in. I'll just put this one on in and see if they let me get. Okay, they let me get it. Okay, so they referred to them as the people of Ad, and they were Hamites. You see, Yemen is Yam. You see, which is Ham, another derivative of Ham, which signifies black. And so you see that the southern portion is where they say is the true Arab. That's where you get the true Arab. So they didn't originate there. Ain't nobody going to originate. But the southern portion would have been much more lush like. You see, it would have been much more lush. You get all your frankincense and myrrh, which was also across the Red Sea in Ethiopia and Sudan. So it was a connection. So when we start talking about let's deal with the children of Cush, they're populated. They're populated. What today they call Arabia. Okay. And so, wait a minute. Here we go. Matter of fact, let me see. Okay, let me get back over here. Okay, I had it. Okay, here you go, right here. Let me put this up. Nah, this is coming out of Black Tim from Babylon to Timbuktu. We talking about Rudolph R. Windsor, A History of Ancient Black Races, including the Black Hebrews. And so we talking about in the area, we're going to deal with the area of Arabia. Okay, and so we talking about what page is this? I cut this up. This one is 37. So but so we listening, we're gonna read from this, this profound book from Babylon to Timbuktu. It states it is a known fact. It is a known fact. Let me make sure everybody can see. Okay, good. It is a known fact that there were Ethiopians inhabiting Arabia in the north, southwest, and southeast. You don't leave out northeast and north. Don't do that. How did these Ethiopians establish domicile residence in southwest Arabia? Because Ethiopians lived around the Persian Gulf in northern Arabia. It is highly probable that they migrated toward the southeast and the southwest. It is obvious that the Kushites inhabited vital parts of Arabia, listen, before the birth of the progenitors of the Arabs. Rama, the son of Cush, Sudan, was the father of the Cushite Sheba and Dedan. Okay, Genesis 10:7, around 2300 BC. The tribe of Rama became remarkable merchants, Ezekiel 27:22. The descendants of Rama lived in southeast Arabia, and the descendants of Havilah resided in southwest Arabia, which is Yemen. Okay, this Havilah was the son of Cush. Okay, moreover, Cush was the patriarch of all the Ethiopian tribes in Babylon, Arabia, India, and on the Nile River. Okay, listen, the Cushites were residents of Arabia soon after the confusion of the tongues at Babylon 2247 BC. But listen, but Ishmael, the father of the Arabs, which I can prove that that's not true, but we'll go with it. It don't make no difference. But Ishmael, the father of the Arabs, was not born until 1896 BC. My conclusion is that the Ethiopians, hear me out, let me get that in there, were in Arabia before the Arabs. Okay, that's clear. Now let me see if I can get down here. Okay, and so here it is. I'm gonna deal with this right here. It says original black Jews, black Arabs, black Jews, and Ethiopians, Arabia, the land of the offspring of Ishmael, which we'll find out not true. I could destroy this right here. You see, so he need to do a little more research, and I can touch him up on this. Okay. And I don't even know. Okay, I'll read it though. Arabia, the land of the offspring of Ishmael, the son of Abraham, is bordered on the east by the Indian Ocean, on the northeast by the Persian Gulf, and on the north by the Arabian Desert, and on the west by the Red Sea. The most fertile, listen, the most fertile region of this peninsula is in the south and the southwest, what I said, which is Arabia Felix. At one point, it almost reaches Ethiopia, which is in Africa. There were many Kushite tribes, Ethiopians, living in northern western, southern sections of Arabia. You see, I don't know why they leave out east. The Arabians have had a long history of intercourse with the Ethiopians in the peninsula of Arabia and with the Ethiopians across the Red Sea in the continent of Africa. James Bruce, author of Travels to Discover the Source of the Nile, says that the people of Yemen, Arabia, particularly those of the coast opposite Saba, Sheba, are reputed Abyssinians, Ethiopians, from the earliest periods to after the Muslim conquest. Okay? Okay, many of the Arabs are not black today because of the crossing with white slaves in their households and harems. Okay, so they fucked up. They went over there and did some crazy shit. Oh, so we understand that that area was Ethiopia before it was ever. And so when you understand, number one, even before we talking about going to India, let's deal with something. You see, they went into, we just looking at sequence of chronology that they went into Arabia first before they went to Babylonia. You see, before they went to Babylonia, they went into Arabia. Before they went to India, southern Arabia, what they call Arabia, it wasn't no Arab. I'm just using the term so you can identify with it. The springboard for them to go into Babylonia. You see, you look up there, you see Nimrod, son of Ethiopia. The springboard was Southern Arabia because they had already had colony, and so it was easier. They didn't just leave from out; they left from Southern Arabia and went into Southern Babylonia, and that's why you see that the southern portion of Babylonia is the most ancient portion. And then you talk about India. You see, we'll talk about India. You see here Kedar, Kedar, Midian, Dedan. You see, all of these were the Cushites. You see, and it says Genesis 10:7, the sons of Cush, Sheba, Havilah, and we understand Cush to be Sudan. See, this is what breaks the back. So you can get clarity. Cush is the Sudan. So when you talk about the early so-called Cushites of Arabia, these were from the bloodline of the Sudanese. That the early Mesopotamians and the early Indians, were the Sudanese, the African Sudanese, dark. You see, and that's who were the first inhabitants of that land. Okay. Now let me grab a hold to some things. And that became the springboard. Let me see if I can get India in here. And see, when you look at the topography, you have to look at the topography too of this whole area. Now, when you see the topography, you can see the mountains. You see the mountains, the Zagros Mountains to the right. And then at the northern portion is the Taurus Mountains. And then over behind to like in the middle, you see the part of them those mountains are again the lower Caucasus Mountains. And this is where they say the fucking Noah's Ark landed up there in them damn mountains and shit. But as you can see, the land beyond, to the south of those mountains is an extension of Africa. You see, the mountains was the boundary line between Africa and Asia. You see, that was the boundary lines right there. And even though those were the boundaries line, because you can see that the land technically is one with Africa. You see, the mountains become the boundary lines of the African continent. And you can see right there you can see the cut. You see the cut in between Arabia and these are tectonic plates. So you can see that this what we call Arabia is on the Arabian tectonic plate, and then you got Africa on the African tectonic plate or the Nubian tectonic plate. And you can see that there's like a cut that leads up in, on the opposite side of the the Sinai Peninsula. This is Canaan or Israel, you see. And so this cut right here, you will see, is the Jordan River. You see, it's the Jordan River. And so the land, the little land skirting the Mediterranean, you see to the west of this cut right here. This, like I said, this is the the Jordan River. This is actually on the African continent, tectonic plate. You see what's going east, east of this line is the Arabian plate, and what's west of this line is the Nubian plate. So the area which you call Canaan, and the most prominent cities like Jerusalem, Bethlehem, and all of that is on the the tectonic plate of Africa. You see, so technically it is Africa. You see, and ain't no hypothetical. It's on the African tectonic plate. So we want to be clear. And even these islands in the Mediterranean are on the African tectonic plate. So if we want to get technical, that's Africa. You see, that's exactly what it is. So we wanted to show that, that Arabia is and always was an extension of Africa. And that the original people that populated Babylon and populated Arabia, populated India, you see, were of the Sudanese Ethiopian stock. You see, and you can see here again, you see the mountains, separated. This is Northeast Africa. See, separated it, and I was trying to get India to show you from Arabia that they went over to India too. Let me see. I don't know where all my maps went. Okay, you can see here. Well, that's pretty good. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work right there. And so you see right here the monsoons, and you see here how they came over to India. Now, when you see that right here on this line right here, that's the Indus. See, this was the founding area of the whole Indian civilization right there, facing Africa. You see, and it started in the southern regions with that which you call Mohenjo-Daro, and then you got a Harappa. You see, you got Harappa. And so I believe Mohenjo-Daro was the southern, but you had, this Indus Valley civilization, and you had ports all along here. You see that early civilization, and then eventually it would move to the Ganges. You see, now this is the Indus River. You see, and so you got the Ganges over here, and eventually the civilization would shift to the Ganges, where, and I believe today, if I'm not mistaken, the Indus is in Pakistan. So Pakistan was originally a part of India, and with the British and all they crazy shit, they separated Pakistan. They separated India and cut it in half. Well, it ain't even half, but a portion of it, and gave it to the Muslims. You see what I'm saying? To pacify them for one reason or another. So Pakistan originally was a part of India, and the Indus River, where the earliest aspect of civilization in India would rise up on that Indus River. and you'll see that that's right in just like Southern Arabia. You see India facing Africa, not on the other side, not in the north. It started in the south. It started right there off of the Arabian Sea, and we know there ain't no Arabian Sea, but we gonna roll with it. We see that it started right there off the Arabian Sea, and they went there first, and then they cut the corner and they went up there to Mesopotamia and found in Mesopotamia, and that all them civilizations are in the south and facing Africa. That's just the bottom line. It ain't no getting away from that. So Arabia, the truth about Arabia and its African origins have been exposed. We touching on this now. We ain't gonna tomorrow. We're gonna go back over this now. Yeah, yeah. We gonna go back over this. Yeah, yeah. What happened, family? Somebody asked me. Now, if y'all got a couple of questions, y'all can put it down there because I don't. Sometimes I don't be looking at the. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I don't be looking in the chat when I'm ready to teach. Sometimes teach. You got a couple questions? I'll answer a couple questions. If not, we'll start black up tomorrow and we'll get busy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Y'all, it's gonna be all right. Yeah, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Yeah. All right, family. We're gonna start back up tomorrow. We're gonna start black up tomorrow. Yeah, we're gonna start black up tomorrow. We're gonna get right back on task. So don't go on and get you some rest. Most definitely. Yeah, that's all right. Tomorrow I'll be more into, I just wanted to make sure I touched on the teachings and stay to the teachings tonight. But tomorrow I'll open it up and we'll have questions and answers. All right, family. Thank you. Hit some of them links, support the general, arm yourself with knowledge, bang on that wicked ass beast daily, liberation through African education and confrontation, Black Power.